Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be 10 frequently asked questions that notaries always ask. So I went back in all of my comments and I looked at some of your questions and I came up with these. So it's just 10, but we're going to get into all 10 of them, okay? Let's get into it. Okay, the first question, how do I become a notary in Florida? What do I have to do? Short answer, you take the 3-hour class, you get a money order for $79, or you use your credit card, you mail it with a completed certificate with the application to Aaron's Notary. And the longer answer is you will go and look in my video library and go to that actual video. I have a video walking you step by step how to be a notary. So it takes you from one spot to the next spot and it just shows you directly. So it kind of takes all of the guesswork out of it, right? So that's your long answer. Oh, and FYI, every state is different. So Florida requirements are not the same as Georgia's, Texas, North Carolina. Every state has its own requirements. And I think in Georgia, you have to actually, notaries have to work under an attorney. So that's a lot different than Florida. So just know whatever your laws is for your state. Okay, so the next question is, which I hear a lot, how much do notaries make? Well, because it's not a regular 9 to 5, it's not the same every week. But what I will do is, I went back and I looked in my account. So I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't remember the cash, what I got back and forth. But what I do, and most of the time I will put my cash in my account, but sometimes if I get to a store before that, I use the cash. But I'm gonna tell you the amount that I saw personally in my actual checking account. So and I'm just letting you know I have a paper right here because I had to write it down because I don't remember stuff like that. But so this week, from the 19th through the 25th, right? Today's the 25th. So far, I made $760. The week before that, which is the 12th through the 18th, I only made $305. Now, this is what I see in my actual account. Not cash in my hand because, like I said, if I have cash in my hand and I go to a store, I go get groceries or something like that, I get gas, I pull out and use that cash before I use my card. So the actual, and I counted like my Zelle and my Cash App. Oh, did I? Yeah, I counted the Cash App too. So those are just my 2 weeks right there. So, and that just shows you how different it can be. 1 week, I made $700 and some. The next week, I only made $300. So it just depends. Every week is different. Some weeks I make more than the $700. I've had weeks where I've made over $1,000. It just depends on how many calls I get. My next question is, how much can you charge as a Notary Public? Listen, the short answer, go look at my video. I've already done a video on this telling you about charging, what you can and can't charge, prices, the breakdown and everything. So go check that out. The longer answer is, it's $10 a stamp for Florida. Every state's different. I want to say, I think California might be $15. So, but for Florida, it's $10 a stamp. And then we get to charge a travel fee. Now, on top of that travel fee, if you do other services, you can charge for other services. So if you do anything like administrative, so if that person needs you to print out documents or whatever it is, they might need you to do a courier service where you have to drop the documents off to the post office. I do that sometimes. Or take it and mail it at FedEx. I've done that also. So you can charge for those things also on top of that $10 a stamp. So it just depends. Go watch the video and I'll tell you all about it there. Alrighty, so my next question that I've seen is, what's the difference between a notary and a loan signing agent? I mean, there's a couple of different differences. I'll say the biggest one that stands out the most to me is a notary, just a regular, just doing general notary. You get your money right then and there in your purse. If you're a loan signing agent, you normally have to wait between 30 and 90 days to get payment for that. So it just depends on the company. Some companies I work for did it in 30 days. Others, you have to wait 90 days to get your money. So do I prefer right now? Of course I do. I don't even do loan signing anymore. I haven't done it in a long time because I need my money now. I don't have time to be waiting. So, and that's just one of the differences. Another difference is general notary. Most of the time, 90% of the time, you don't have to do any printing. The people have their own documents, right? Now, with loan signing, you're printing their packet and the company's packet. So if you're sending it back to the title company or if you're sending it to the attorney, they need their own packet. So there's 2 packets. Usually at least about 300 pages needs to be printed out. I'm going to go a little bit further. Then still, if you're a loan signing agent, you need to scan that packet over. They want you to scan those documents to them before you mail them to make sure you did it right. Now, before COVID, every once in a blue moon, people would want you to scan it. But now after COVID, every message I see that come across my phone says that you have to scan back. So everything is scanned back now. So that's a bigger difference. Another difference is with general notary, it's good you have E&O insurance, but isn't like required. With loan signing, for most companies to work with you, you have to have E&O insurance. And not just have it, but they want you to have a certain amount. At least like maybe 100, 500,000. It just depends on the actual company. But I've even had some signings that require you have like $1 million E&O insurance. I never had it that high, so I wouldn't even get those. But ultimately, that's another thing. So the insurance part of it. Doing general notary, you don't have to do like that background check through the NNA, right? A loan signing agent, they want that background check, and they're going to check for it. And they want to know the date and your number and everything. So I want to say, it's been a minute. I'm actually going to do mine's over because it's almost time for me to renew my commission. I'm going to do it again. I want to say it's about $80 for that, for the NNA. But either way, that's another difference. And so that's kind of the differences between a loan signing agent and a notary. And other than that, a class. So a lot of people that do loan signing take an extra class that teaches them about the actual documents. General notary, most of the time, it's just like you learn as you go. So that's why I put those documents on my page to show you so you will know how to do it and then you will see it ahead of time. It kind of like sets you up to win and not fail. Okay, another question I get asked is, what's the best way to market myself? The best way, before you start, go and do your Google My Business. When you start, go in person with those business cards. Let them put a face with a name. And once you get started, then go ahead and put it all over social media. And not just once, at least every week. I need you on all of your social media sites. It could be a nice saying. It could be a picture of you doing your work. It could be a flyer, a card, whatever it is. You need to be in their face. So that's the best way to market yourself. And what you put in is what you get out. So if you don't market, you're not going to get any calls. If you don't get those reviews for Google, nobody's going to call you because they're not going to know about you. So what you put in is what you get out. Okay, another question that I get asked is, how do I know which document requires a witness? So what I'll say, every state is different. I say it a lot, but it's the truth. So the requirements for Florida is not the same as California or the same as Texas. Or you get what I'm saying? So in Florida, the requirement is like on a will. You have to have 2 witnesses. And a notary can't be one. On a power of attorney, two witnesses, and the notary can't be one. In a different state, their requirements are different. So sometimes, and I've had this happen, people show up, I get there, and they have a will or a power of attorney from a different state because maybe they traveled from another state and they brought theirs with them, prepared, right? Well, or the attorney that did this, they're in another state and their will and power of attorney is for that state. So what you'll do is you'll put your notarial language on it. So you'll put your notary stamp on there. So not just your notary stamp, but like your jurat or your acknowledgement stamp, putting your verbiage on there if it's not there. But regardless of that, you here in Florida need two witnesses, right? So if you get a power of attorney or a will from a different state, it's probably not even going to have a line for a witness at all because it's not required. That's why you as a notary for your state need to be familiar with your laws. So you'll know, okay, so even though this doesn't have a line, we need to draw a line because we need two witnesses. That's necessary because people come with documents from other states all the time. It's up to you as a notary to know your laws, know what you're responsible for. And one thing about it, even if you don't know and you don't do your research, if anything happened, you're going to be held liable for that. So your best bet is to definitely look this stuff up, familiarize yourself. The booklet is free. What I'm going to do is in the description, I'm going to try to link it down there so you can click on it. So if you don't know where it is, it's completely free. You can download it and familiarize yourself with it. Another question I get asked, what do I need to start? What supplies? So if you're going to be doing general notary, you need a stamp, you need some pens, and you need a clipboard. And you're ready to start. Now, is it good to have cards? Yes. If you don't have them in the beginning and you got to wait to make some money, then just wait. You don't need them to start. You need that pen, that clipboard, and that stamp. And you're ready with general notary. Now, loan signing, whole different monkey. You need a scanner. Now, when I started, I did not have a scanner, and I used a scanner on my phone. But like I said in the beginning, not many people ask for scan bags. Now, every single signing asks for a scan bag. Now, if you're going to be with your cell phone taking a picture of 150 pages, live your best life. You need a scanner, okay? So, you need a scanner. You need a printer, not just a regular printer. You need a dual printer because some of the documents are letter size and some are legal. You need both of those trays. So you need, and I know for myself, my printer was like almost $500. I got a brother, but it's cheaper now because it's after COVID. So you just do your own research. But a scanner, you need a printer, you need a laptop, of course. You need somewhere to be able to upload these documents, send them back. And then you're going to need your E&O insurance, definitely, because a lot of people aren't going to even deal with you without that. You're going to need your background check from the NNA, which I think is about $80. I think off the top of my head, that's kind of the only thing I can think of. But you're going to need a couple $100 to get started, at least. Maybe I'm going to say at least about maybe $1,000 to get started loan signing. I paid more than that, but right now with these prices, maybe about $1,000. And actually what's good, what I've been looking into recently, I haven't gotten it yet, but buying me a portable printer. So it's about this big, and basically you can print from your cell phone. So if it's like 1 or 2 pages, you put a blank page in and it prints out that page. I think that's really convenient. So, and they're a little over $100. So I haven't spent the money yet. When I do, I'll tell you guys all about it. I'll let you know if it's good or bad, what brand I got. But that's another thing you'll need. So another question I've heard is, can a notary refuse to notarize a document? The answer is yes, you can. Recently, I just did a vlog video where I went somewhere and the names didn't match up. She was adamant about putting that other name instead of what was on her identification. I didn't feel right about that. It felt wrong. Like maybe you were trying to be slick. So I was like, no. All money ain't good money. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. And she was like, no, I don't want you to because I need my name. Okay, well, you call somebody else because I'm not her. Simple as that. And I mean, of course, I said it in a nice way. But you have to do what you think is the right thing because ultimately, like I said in that other video, your commission is on the line. So if you don't feel right about it, if it doesn't look right, if the person don't understand what you're saying, if they look like they're out of it, like they don't understand, don't do it. Because it could be somebody later on in life come back and fight whatever that document is. And you'll be on the line for that. Another question I get asked often, do you have to use a notary journal? Now, here in Florida, you don't. It's good to use it, but you don't have to use it. It's not mandatory. Other states, I want to say California, I think it's mandatory there. They have to use a notary journal. I think it's good. So like in the past, I had the one appointment where the lady was trying to sell somebody else's property with some fraud, but she had an ID. So somehow she had that. I did not at that time use my notary journal. So had I got her thumbprint and put it on that notary journal, I would have had more information to give the police when they showed up asking me about it. So because I didn't, I only could kind of tell them what I knew, what I remembered. And then of course I always send like a reminder text. So I have text messages and emails and stuff like that to rely on also. But the notary journal is always a good thing. Yep. It take a little bit longer, but it's always a good thing. And that's the truth. And another question I get asked, and this is going to be the last one. What are the requirements for being a notary? So off the top of my head, you have to be 18. You have to work here or live here majority of the time. There's a lot of different requirements. I'm going to put them on the screen so you can kind of go through it and read it. And once again, I'm going to link the notary, the handbook in the description. So you can go there also and familiarize yourself with all the requirements. Now, what I will say is it says you can't be a felon. But I know there are some instances where the governor will look over it if it's been so many years. So it can kind of go more in detail in that notary book. But I know some people with backgrounds still get to be a notary. But if you do something like really bad, I don't think you can. Or it has to be like a certain amount of time. I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to link it. You do your own research. But thank you. And you guys have a great rest of your evening. I want to thank you guys for coming by my channel. If you got anything out of this video, please like, share, and subscribe and comment. I really appreciate you guys. And I love all of your comments. So keep them coming.